Hi guys, happy Sunday. I hope you're all really well and have had a brilliant week. What's happened since the last video? Oh yeah, so the last video was the Sunset Pink collection, which is selling out like hotcakes, but there's no surprise there. It's all beautiful stuff. Thanks for all your comments. Guys, do subscribe if you don't already, just because I don't want any of you missing anything. Great, so I posted a picture on Instagram on Thursday evening of a makeup look I'd created for our conference supper, which was amazing, by the way. Thank you so much, Kita, for a wonderful time. And people really loved it, and it was a kind of a soft, pretty, pink enhanced makeup look with a very gentle smoky eye. So that's what I'm going to recreate for you today. The background might look a bit different and a bit weird. That's because I'm currently away. My sweet husband has taken me away to a spa hotel for the weekend to celebrate our 10th wedding anniversary. But I realised what I'd filmed during the week was terrible, so yeah, I had to bring my kit with me, but never mind, he's very kindly and graciously allowed me to just do my video quickly for you guys. Okay, so I've had lots of primer on already and moisturiser on already today, so I'm just going to use one of my all-time favourites, the Illuminating Moisture Balm, excuse me, and I'm going to mix it in with some tinted moisturiser. So, 2 pumps of balm into my fingers, and then, ooh, did you hear that? It was a dollop of tinted moisturiser. So I'll simply blend those in together to my fingers, like so, and then blend over my face. Now at this point I will say my husband drew the line at bringing lights with me. So I don't have any lights, and I'm filming in front of a huge window overlooking some gorgeous grounds. We're at Coworth Park in Ascot, and it's absolutely delightful. So just to explain why the light might look a bit different. No help here, simply daylight. But what you'll see is the effect of tinted moisturiser mixed with illuminating moisture balm is you get a stunningly lightweight but really dewy finish. As always, I need to conceal under my eyes, so I'll start first with my Bisque corrector. It's this pinky tone corrector that neutralises any shadow under my eye. So with my ring finger, I'm just going to pop it into the inside corner of my eye, and I suffer with dark circles, so instantly I can see benefit from having the corrector under my eye. Great, so over that I'm going to take some of my beige concealer kit. Oh look, this one's seen better days. And I'm just going to press that over the top of the corrector to ensure that my under eye area is skin tone correct and not left with a pinky hue having used a corrector. Great, so now my under eye is brightened and my face, I've done my base of tinted moisturiser with illuminating moisture balm. I'm now going to set that with some powder. Now because it's a date night makeup, I'm going to use my Skin Weightless powder foundation here in beige, which I adore, and it'll give me just a little bit more coverage than if I was to use a sheer powder. The beauty of the Skin Weightless powder foundation is, however, that it won't dull the luminosity I've created with the balm. You'll still see that coming through, especially in photographs, which I love. I love it when you get that soft, kind of blurring, luminous finish. Okay, so now my base is set. I'm going to warm my skin with a little bit of medium bronzer. Why does everything start running out at the same time? Anyway, this is my most beloved makeup item, so it's no wonder it runs out quickly. So you'll see I'm warming through the top of my cheekbones, on both sides, up through the temple, and up over the top of my forehead for a naturally sun-kissed warmth to this skin. And I'll just take a little bit of that down my neck, because this under my chin here never gets quite as much colour. Just make sure that the jawline is warm as well. I feel my most pretty when my skin is nice and warm, so as you all know, quite like myself a little bit of bronzer. Okay, so just make sure all the edges are blended together. That is the joy of this beautiful bronzer brush. You see how the head is really quite big and it's cut nice and flat. That really helps you get an even blended look, and you avoid that ghastly stripy bronzed look. Okay, fab. FYI, I have no mirror around me, so I'm struggling to see a little bit what I'm doing. I trust it looks all right. So on to cheeks. Now for a pretty pink date night makeup, there is no better blusher than my dear pale pink. So it might look incredibly bright in the square, but as a blue-based pink, it gives you the freshest, softest pink flush of colour without any of that brown or reddy tone you might get in something that looks more neutral. Ah, sweet, there's a family outside riding bicycles. Okay, so it's up to you how much blush you apply. For this fresh date night pinky glow I'm looking for, I'm going to use a bit more blush than I would normally, because it's all about, this look is all about a pinky cheek and a pinky lip with a more neutral eye. So moving on, I just want to do a little bit of eyebrow, and I'm going to use the dark brow kit. Now I travel with this a lot. As you can see, it's got a mini brush in there, 2 brow colours and 2 fab mirrors. A normal one and a mega magnifying one. So again, it's portable and it's really quick and easy. And with the darkest shade, I'm simply going to brush some of that colour through the brows, following the direction of the growth of the hair. And I like to fill from the top of the brow to get the highest arch and therefore more lift. Great thing about this brow brush is that it's a really stiff bristle, which means as you kind of fill in your brow, it does a brilliant job of brushing them too. I've tried others in the past that have been really soft and actually you don't have quite as much control. You can be really precise with this. Great. Brows. I always find that my brows feel like they look really, really dark until I've got to my eyeshadow on. Okay, so now moving on to eyes. So on to eyes. In the picture I posted on Instagram, I'd created a very soft, natural matte smoky eye using this beauty here, the Nude on Nude palette. However, this is probably sold out. You might be lucky and find it in some shops. If you are lucky enough, I'd highly recommend it. It's so handy. But the colour I used is a colour that is permanent in the line, and that is a colour called Cement. And that is what it looks like. Cement, this colour here. So as you can see, it's a grey and it's completely matte, and I love that sometimes for a smoky eye as a contrast or a change from the usual, you know, very dark and, in my case, often sparkly look. So with an eyeshadow brush, I'm simply sweeping the cement all over the lid and taking it really quite high into the crease of the eye. And incidentally, this is the colour I wore on my eyes in the video I did with my mother-in-law. And although the video was all about doing Sue's makeup, I had so many comments, which is very kind, about my own makeup, and people saying particularly that they liked the eye. So this is in fact the very same eye look from that video. So sweep plenty of the shadow over the lid. As always, I'm just going to take my ring finger to soften any edges, but as you can see, I've definitely got the shadow coming up through the crease of the eye, so that when my eye is open and looking straight ahead, I can see some of that colour coming through. And that, with my eye shape, really helped my eyes look bigger, because in fact my lid is relatively small. I've got quite a big gap between my lid and my brow, so if I pull my shadow up and drag the colour higher, it doesn't make that, it makes that area look less. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It doesn't make this bit look quite so deep. Hope you got it. Then with the same brush, I'm going to dip back into the shadow and sweep some of it along my lower lash line. Now, some people are often surprised that I use such a big brush for my lower lash line, but I find, hang on, let me concentrate for a sec. I find that when you're doing a smoky eye, it looks way more natural and much softer if the line you've done on the lower lash line is really quite thick and smudgy. Okay, so that's the eyeshadow done. Now to line my eyes, I'm going to use the Blackest Black ink liner, which is a really gorgeous fine tipped liquid liner, and I'm then going to use a dark colour just to smudge that out. So I'm going to use the ink liner to do a really fine line at the root of the lashes, and then a darker shadow just to smudge over the top. So with the ink liner, I'm simply going to rest the head of that lovely fibre tip along the base of my lashes and dust all the way along. Now, I know some artists love to do ink line in one perfect line. I still prefer to do lots of little lines and draw them together. But what I love about this liner is that you get a really fine line. I love that. I was trying to do ink liner and talk and concentrate all at the same time. Oh, golly. But as you can see, let me just perfect that. The ink liner gives the finest, most delicate of lines right at the root of the lash. Now I'm going to soften that with a dark shadow, and I'll be using this one again from the Nude on Nude palette. However, any dark shadow will do if you didn't manage to get your hands on this palette. So anything like mahogany, espresso, saddle, smoke, charcoal even, they are all dark shadows from Bobbi Brown that we use as dry eyeliner, wet eyeliner, and as great colours to smoke out a smoky eyeliner. So with an angled shadow brush, I'm just going to go over the edge of the ink liner to create a much softer, more smoky finish. It's just nice to have the ink liner on first, so the root of the lashes is as black as it can be, and then you've got, as you can see now, this shadow going over the edge, so it's a kind of a graduation of colour. So deepest at the root of the lashes, and then blending over the lower lid, blending up for a slightly smokier finish. Okay, so once I've smudged or created that double line with the dark shadow, it's now, of course, time for mega lashes. So I'm going to use my all-time favourite eye-opening mascara. The joke I learnt this week when I was doing some filming with John Lewis was that actually when I'm trying to get the name of a product on the screen, it needs to be back to front in my viewfinder. If it's back to front in my viewfinder, it'll be the right way for you guys. It only took me, what, 6 months to learn that. Okay, so eye-opening mascara. Just drag gently and slowly through the lashes using or optimising the fatness of the wand by resting it at the root of the lashes and then dragging through all the way to the tip for insane thickness and volume with minimum effort. That was what? Just a couple of strokes. Brilliant. So, as you can see, fabulous thickness, length and volume just using the eye-opening mascara. So moving on to lips. In the picture I posted on Instagram, if you don't follow me, do, I'll put the link below. But if you search Instagram, I'm at @bbpro_Hannah Martin. You'll see in the picture I was wearing a pink choker, and it was a kind of a dusty pink colour, and so I wanted to try and match my lipstick to said choker. FYI, that choker lasted for about 20 minutes. I felt like I was being strangled. I'm not used to wearing them, so I wrapped it around my wrist instead. So the perfect colour to start with, this gorgeous dusty pink art stick. Now, art sticks I love because you get a gorgeous matte finish, they're really long wearing and they're super easy to apply. You simply scroll along your bottom lip, comme ça, kiss it to the top, and you're good to go. However, I'm just going to go over the edge slightly, just to make a little more of the colour, using the tip of the art stick as a lip liner. Pretty, such a lovely colour. But what I did in the picture, if you've seen it, you'll see that it doesn't look quite this strong, and that is because I did a bit of blending and I used the pink nude Luxe lip colour on top just to soften the colour ever so slightly. So dusty pink art stick is in place, then take a sweep or two of the pink nude Luxe lip, and the pink finish is just that little bit softer and therefore matched my choker brilliantly. Now, as a final finish, I couldn't do a makeup this week without using my stunning Sunset Glow highlighter from the new Sunset Pink collection. Oh my goodness, it just gives your skin the most stunning pinky glow, that pinky luminosity, mimicking the way that the light at sunset reflects onto the skin and gives you that gorgeous luster, that gorgeous magic hour glow, as Bobby calls it. There are 3 highlighters in the collection, but this happens to be my favourite. So again, with my sheer powder brush, just going into the compact and then sweeping over my blusher and over the higher point of my cheekbone for that gorgeous highlight. Okay, so there we go, inspired by my makeup from earlier this week that I posted on Instagram, a pretty pink date night makeup.
Babe, you look awesome. Hi.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
tell Love. He's been very quiet, sat in the corner there. Thanks, babe. Excellent, soz about that. Do give this a thumbs up if you liked the video, and subscribe if you don't already. As I said earlier, I did some really exciting filming with John Lewis this week, which I'm super pumped about. I can't say anything about it yet, but watch this space for more on that. I'll of course put a link to all the products that I used today in this video. And yes, chaps, I shall see you all soon. Lots of love. Bye.
Bye.